What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. We've got Week 13 tight end start sits going on. Not a whole lot of options here. What started off the season to be a pretty deep position has kind of turned into a select few from week to week. So we're going to try to keep it as bold as we can without, going all the top guys. But, I mean, literally there's 10 to 12 decent tight ends a week.
Yeah.
So we can only tell you to sit so many of them before there's nobody to really sit. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it, talking about tight ends. Week 13, Mac, who you got to start us off?
All right. Well, we talked about this guy in the previous waiver wire episode. I'm going to go with Ricky Seals-Jones.
Who is Ricky Seals-Jones?
Yes. That guy.
That guy.
And again, like we said in the video, he's becoming consistent. 1 week, okay, it's an anomaly. 2 weeks, you start to scratch your head. All right, now this week here, I think it's going to be the Ricky Seals-Jones solidification.
Ooh.
You like that?
Solidification.
Yeah. Going against the Rams, it's a defense that they're really cagey, man. They come after the ball, especially the quarterback. So Blaine's not going to have a lot of time to sit back and look for fits and any of the Brown receivers, Smoke or JJ. It's going to be one of those situations. He's going to have to dump the ball off quickly, and Ricky Seals-Jones is the prime target. He's become his favorite go-to target, actually, and I like him this week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, last week I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Ricky Seals-Jones, whoever that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, you're like, wait a second. Ricky Seals-Jones may be the real deal here.
Yeah.
And it is. The rapport that he has with Gabbert seems to be, maybe they spent a lot of time during practice, being that they were both kind of buried on the depth chart to start the season. Mm-hmm. They built that rapport early in the season when they weren't playing, and now it's just paying off for them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with somebody that I know we disagree on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be another opportunity for the subscribers and the watchers to say whether they're going Team Jake or Team Mac down below. Wow.
I'm trying to influence my votes.
Yeah, that's right. Mac over here trying to sell votes.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about I don't even have it ready.
It's all good. I can do it.
You can?
Yeah.
Can you be safe with it?
Yeah.
Are we going to lose our PG rating because of this?
I'll get the beep in there.
You get it?
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Ready? How about we just go Jack Doyle?
That's it, baby.
That's right. We're going with Jack Doyle this week. Well,
right.
I'm going Jack Doyle this week.
Yeah.
We talked off camera, so I know where you're going to go. But
yes.
But Jack Doyle is going to be going against Jacksonville.
Right.
I'm not worried about Jack Doyle against Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. I'm worried about Brissett against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm still starting Doyle is that is by far his number one target of who he looks for. So what's going to happen when he's got 2 seconds to make a decision? He's going to look for his favorite guy. Yeah. He's going to look for the guy that he can trust and he can depend on. Right now, that's Jack Doyle. I mean, this is what we thought Jack Doyle was going to be with Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. And he's slowly becoming that Jack Doyle. I mean, he's had games of 12 catches, 8 catches, 7 catches. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's consistent with it. And in a position that isn't super deep right now, I don't think you can afford to sit him regardless who he's playing, just for the simple fact that Brissett is going to look for him. He's going to do whatever he can, even if it's a bunch of 10-yard catches. Mm-hmm. He may end up with 10 catches for 100 yards. He's not going to have the huge plays, but he's going to be his top target, and I'll take it. He's got that safe floor. He's got that 7 to 10 point floor, and if that's what my tight end's going to give me, if I'm somebody who's underperforming lately, if I'm a Jordan Reed / Vernon Davis owner or something like that, you look at the upside of those guys who can bust off the big plays. That's not Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle's the safety net. And at times like this, sometimes you just need the safety net. You don't need the big home run. So in that case, fire me up some Jack Doyle.
Okay. Well, since you alluded to it, then I'll go to my sit. I'm going to go Jack Doyle. And again, I mean, I like Jack Doyle. And I agree with a lot of points that you're saying. But here's the thing. I think that the Jacksonville their linebackers are pretty bad. You know what? I almost slipped up and said
bad man gems.
Exactly. You know, it's just one of those things, man. It's they know that's Brissett's number one target. So I think that they're gonna key on Jack. You know, it's just, you know, Miles Jacks, Ramsey. It's so many different options that they have in that linebacking core that are really fast off the ball, man. I mean, they can cover. You know, you can drop back and cover these guys, you know. And Jack Doyle is not the fastest, you know, tight end, I would say. He's probably the more consistent as far as and reliable, you know, in catching, you know, passes. But I don't know, man. It's something about those linebackers that scare me. You know, whether if it's just putting more pressure on Brissett to where, you know, he's not comfortable. He can step back and set himself and, you know, find Jack. I don't know. I'm not pinpointing the exact reasoning other than that those linebackers to me are the key to that defense.
All right. Well, hey, we gave the people something to vote on.
Give you both sides, baby.
You're either pro Doyle with Jake,
yes,
or you're anti Doyle with Mac.
Yes.
Comment below.
Exactly.
they know where to go. I'm gonna go with somebody who always seems to be asked about. I don't like him. I mean, nothing personal.
Right.
Fantasy-wise, Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
He's always somebody every week we get a lot of questions about, and I get it. It's because the position is so up and down and injuries and, you know, there's no consistency with the position, but there's better options than Austin Hooper. I mean, he's got so much hype, and he does. He's got a lot of ability. He's not involved. I mean, this is Julio and Sanu and Coleman and Freeman.
That's it?
That's it. There's nothing else in Atlanta. I mean, that's what they're going to run 90% of their offense through is those four people. Hooper had 3 catches for 38 against Tampa Bay. The week before that, 2 catches for -1 yard. I mean, he's just not... Before that, he had 6 catches for 49 and a touchdown. It's his best game of the year. It's just up and... I can't even say up and down. It's more down than up.
Yeah.
Since his big week 1, he's just been a disappointment.
Yeah.
And... it's going to continue. I mean, they're going to be at home at least, playing against Minnesota. Not that Minnesota is shut down of all tight ends, but I just don't like how he's not that involved. Plus, Minnesota has that ability to be, you know, a championship caliber defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they have that ability from week to week. They don't do it every single week, but they have that ability, and I'm not even taking the chance with Austin Hooper this week.
Yeah. Well, that's if they don't flub up like they did in the Super Bowl.
We ain't gonna bring that up.
We ain't gonna talk about that. But, you know, and I'm sticking with the same game, and I'm gonna go with another start of mine, which it seems like it's beginning to be that season that we want to talk about. Rudolph's.
Yep, the red zone reindeer.
Exactly, Mr. Kyle Rudolph. You know, he was a disappointment. You know, early on, man, the first 6-7 weeks actually. You know, it was like, wow, where is Kyle? And then last year he was a top 3 tight end. Now he's starting to seem like he's becoming that once again. And I think it's due to Keenum. You know, he looks and locks in on him in certain situations. And against the Falcons, like you said, they do have a tendency to be an up-tiered, upper-level defense at times. And they're at home, and they play so much better when they're at home. But Kyle Rudolph is going to be one of those guys, you know, that he will be called upon quite a bit because I don't think Diggs is going to do a lot. Thielen's going to have a good game. The running game is going to be up and down depending on who it is. Now it looks like it's going to be Latavius. But Kyle Rudolph, I think, is going to be a safe play in this particular game.
Yeah, he's come along here lately as a lot more consistent option. One of the most consistent options, though, has been Delanie Walker in Tennessee. He's been constantly one of Mariota's, you know, go-to guys, and myself included. I went 2 weeks in a row on the Corey Davis hype train. I have abandoned ship on the Corey Davis hype train. I thought that, you know, his time was coming. It had to have come. And I'm not saying it's not. I just don't think he's a part of Mariota's game plan.
Yeah.
You know, if Matthews is healthy or Walker, they're the ones getting the targets. Yeah. It's not going to Corey Davis. And Delanie Walker is the one who's benefiting from it. He's getting the the red zone looks. He hasn't converted a whole lot of them, but he's getting the opportunities. I mean, he's averaging somewhere right around 75 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
He's got one of those safe floors. I mean, he's getting 6 to 8 catches a game. He's just another safe play. And at this time of year, when you're fighting for playoffs or whatever it is, whatever position you're in, you need those safe points. And there's not very many tight ends out there that are safer than Delanie Walker.
Yeah. Other than maybe this guy. But, again, and speaking of, man, I thought Delanie got hurt pretty bad at one point. Like,
it was a few weeks back. It was
like, wow.
Yeah, and also, a few weeks back, he tweaked his ankle, and you're like, man, this guy's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
He's just consistent.
Hanging on. But no, and this is not a bold pick per se, but again, you're at this stage and this point in the season. Most of us, they're looking for the playoffs. Some are chasing it, but if you got this guy, you're going to start him every week, 9 times out of 10. And this week, I'm sure we're going to get questions about it going against in Seattle. But Zach Ertz, to me, is a every week start, regardless of the defense that he's matched up with. This past week, 10 receptions for 103 yards and a TD. Those are grunt numbers from years ago. You know what I'm saying? And Zach Ertz is starting to become, like I said, a tight end one every week, regardless of matchups. And I can't see it changing anytime soon, especially not in that offense.
And it's hard because that offense, he's going to have up and down weeks only because they have so many options.
Yeah.
He's not their go-to guy like Kelsey is in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to compete with the Alshons and the Ajays and Blunts, and he's not really competing with Torrey Smith, I guess.
No.
But the Aguilars, there's lots of options in Philly, and they're all working right now. So a lot of people were scared about Ertz over the past couple weeks just because I can't even say he became more inconsistent, but he wasn't as heavily involved since they got Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
But you saw just this past weekend, he's still heavily involved.
Yeah.
He's not going to get 10 catches every week, but he's going to be safe.
Yeah. And then, he's got some games coming up, man. This looks pretty good. The Rams and Giants, those 2 games there, it could be high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely going to be involved.
That's right. Somebody else who was like can't call him early season, but more of a mid-season Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
It's ASJ, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. One thing that people are starting to realize, ourselves included, about ASJ is he is very touchdown dependent.
Mm-hmm.
And the touchdowns have not been there for the past 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the value of ASJ is not there. Had a couple crucial drops this past week that would have given him a great day. He's still getting the red zone looks. The problem is he's not converting them lately. And if he's not converting them, like I said, he goes from a 10 to 15 point score down to like a 3-point score. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's too much of a risk to take. He's going to be at home against Kansas City. Not that that's a horrible matchup for him. I just don't like the drop in production, and it's something going on. He's got the case of the drops. It's like, there's that term in golf, whatever it is, of all of a sudden you start shanking it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Comment below if you know. It's from the movie Tin Cup. He had it, whatever it was, tell me. But he's kind of got that as a receiver, and he's dropping a lot more than he did. And if that's the case, if it's a mental thing, no thanks. I'll pass. Give me somebody else besides ASJ this week.
Yeah. I want to go with Greg Olsen as a sit this week. Like I said, I know they're trying to work him in slowly and everything with his whole health issue. And I don't know if there's going to be a setback, as far as what's, going on. So just kind of keep your eyes, on the situation. But if he is cleared to play, which I hadn't heard anything as of yet.
No, last I heard is the x-rays came back negative for any setback on his foot. I know he did re-aggravate an injury, but they haven't ruled him out or said anything. It's just one of those things where I have a feeling they've been winning without him.
Yeah.
They're kind of going to start resting him here in hopes that he'll be there for a playoff run because I can't see them risking it at this point.
No.
If they were in the position where they couldn't afford to lose, but they're they're hanging in there pretty good. I think they're 8-3 right now. They're not, they're not fighting for the spot as much as others are. But yeah, and Greg Olsen, he worries me.
Yes.
Going forward, if you stashed him for this reason, and this was a possibility of something that could happen.
Exactly.
He needs to go back to being the stash.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, you don't want to roll him out, even if they say he's questionable leading up, and then he plays. I mean, it's still the Saints. I mean, Lattimore's situation. We don't know about the DBs if they're going to play this week, but still the defense as a whole is still a good group of guys that it's going to be a tough matchup. And he's got a couple more coming up. Minnesota, Green Bay, Tampa Bay in the next few weeks. That if you have Olsen, just keep him, like I said, stash him, and just see how it goes, because those, if he is healthy, those are games that he will be successful.
And he's probably more, if you've already clinched a playoff spot in your league, he's a safer stash than if you're fighting for a playoff spot. If you're fighting for a spot to get to the playoffs, it may almost be to the point to where, based on whatever news comes out this week, that you drop him because you don't have that luxury to stash anymore.
No.
If you're trying to win this week. If you've already clinched your playoffs, stash him.
That's it.
He may help you win it this year, but right now, I'd stay away.
Yeah.
All right, well, those were our tight end start sits for the week. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you're sending those comments. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and doing all the other awesome stuff you guys have been doing. We appreciate all the love.
Yes.
If you would have told us, 10 or 12 weeks ago this is where we'd be,
man,
we'd have thought you're all crazy. But hey, we appreciate the love. We're going to continue to help you guys out. Make sure you're commenting below. If you have a question on somebody that we didn't cover, ask us. We'll make sure we'll give you whatever insight we got. Other than that, you guys just have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Peace.